welcome to Ashley's Vintage Journey. I'm Ashley, and today I have a really cool project. I was scrolling on Facebook, and in one of my Facebook groups, I follow some vintage things, and this little vintage dustpan had popped up, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, I wonder if I could recreate it myself and see if I could find a modern dustpan and make it into my own creation. I collect a lot of Coca-Cola stuff. I've collected it since I was like maybe about 15, 16 years old. And I eventually want to transform my kitchen into like the 1950s, 60s vibe. I've loved Coca-Cola since I was a kid. But yeah, I want to see if I can recreate it and see if I can put that Coca-Cola vibe on the dustpan. And then maybe hang it up in my kitchen. I doubt I'll use it really as an actual dustpan, but we'll see. But I want to see if I can do it. So let's go ahead and get into this project. So here's the dustpan I got. I got it off of Amazon. I'll post the link where I got it down below if you would like to get one yourself. I also have the sandpaper. This is just sandpaper I already had. I'm not sure if this is the right kind of sandpaper. This is just what I had. This is my painter's tape that I use just to help protect some of it, so that way while I was painting I could kind of block off some of the areas that I was painting. So I went ahead and started sandpapering a lot of the shiny bits off. I did try to sandpaper as much as I could off. Of course, I couldn't get it all off, but I did what I could. I did try to vacuum up as much of the dust I could because it was really cold and rainy out the entire time I was trying to do this. There was only like little breaks where I was able to paint. But yeah, I went ahead and tried to get as much of this as I could get off of the dustpan. I did the front, then I did the handle, and then went ahead and started to do the back, and yeah. I also ended up getting that sticky residue off also. So I went ahead and started putting the painter's tape on. It's definitely not precise. I just kind of wing it. I'm not a precise person. I wing it all the time, as you see in some of my videos. I just wing it. But yeah, it turned out great, so I'm happy with it. And yeah, so I went ahead and just put the tape where I am trying to block off the color where I want it to be white. Once the weather cleared, I went ahead and took it out and spray painted it red. I gave it a few coats and then I started it on the back. And I gave the back a few coats also. Once it was dry, I started to tape it off where I didn't want the white to go. So I took a plastic bag so I didn't have to waste tape and wrapped it around all of the red, which I probably should have done to the handle too, because I had a hard time with the tape on the handle, but that's for later on. But yeah, I didn't think about it like that. I just was like, oh, tape on the handle, all right. But it was okay. But then I just, like I said, I just put the tape everywhere where I didn't want the white to go. Once that was done, I started taking off the tape where I had put it on before, so I could block out for the red. So here I am taking that off, which was a lot harder than I thought. I thought painter's tape would have been easy to get off, but I guess because it was stuck to metal, it wasn't that easy. So here I am spraying on the white paint. I did give the paint a couple coats of that. Here I am taking off the bag because I am going to start getting ready to draw and paint the picture. Here is where I had a hard time getting the tape off of the top of the handle and everywhere else. For some reason, the tape really stuck to everything on here. I don't know why. I did start to tape everything before I put the bag on. That's why you see me pulling off tape there, but I decided to put the bag on instead. So that way I wasn't wasting tape. But I just left that on just in case, but yeah, here I am taking the tape off of the part that meets the floor. I don't know what that's called, the little strip. There we go, all cleaned off. So here is the ideas that I had for the what I was going for. I was thinking Coca-Cola with 2 strawberries next to it, and then maybe a couple starbursts along it because I really like the starbursts, and on the Coca-Cola cups. But then once I drew the strawberries on there, I felt like it looked a little cluttered on the little dustpan with the starbursts and the Coca-Cola. So I ended up taking the strawberries off, which I think if it was just the strawberries and the Coca-Cola, it would have been just fine. But I really was liking the starbursts. I think the starbursts, I just was really liking that cup that I seen. I think the cups were from the 1960s, if I'm not mistaken when I found those pictures. But I like the simplicity of it, and I really like the starburst patterns that were on a couple of the dustpans that I found, and I was just like, I have to do the starbursts. But here I am just trying to kind of perfecting the Coca-Cola. Mind you, it's not perfect, it's by all means, and I'm not an artist. I'm just having fun with it, that's all. This is something that just got my creativity flowing, and sometimes you just need that. I did start using a paint that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree, and I was like, ooh, I think I'm gonna use that because it was bright red, and I didn't like how it looked. It would have taken several coats for it to dry clear, so I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go get some from Walmart because I had ran out of all of my red that I had. So I went ahead and got some from Walmart. But yeah, I went ahead and got, I think it was called Flag Red. I had bought 2 different types of red, which I end up using my paint for something. I make Christmas gifts a lot of times and everything, so I end up using my paint. So it's not going to go to waste. But I end up using the color, it's called Flag Red, which ended up matching perfectly with the spray paint. So I went ahead with that. And you can see I'm just going in and just painting over all my trace lines. And what I did after I painted all my trace lines, I went back in and kind of perfected some of the lines, and I went in and did like a second coat and then perfected those lines. It took a couple layers to make sure that everything was nice and opaque and it looked nice and clean. And then once I was happy with how everything looked, I took it outside to spray paint the clear coat on it, and after that, after I gave it a couple coats, it's time for the reveal. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed that reveal. I love how it turned out. It turned out so cute. I did have a couple ideas floating around in my head. I had ideas to add strawberries and the starburst, but it ended up being a little too cluttered. So I decided to just do the starburst, which I love how it turned out. But I just love it. It turned out so cute. I did have a mishaps with the spray paint, and the spray paint was the wrong color. I thought it was clear because it had a clear cap and it said just gloss on it. But when I sprayed it, it ended up being sand color, which I didn't see. It was marked really small on the very bottom of the can saying sand. But it's okay. I ended up fixing it. It was just one little spray across the red, and I just sprayed red right over top of it again. Next time I know to make sure, and I do have clear coat, and I know what to buy for clear coat if I ever decide to do spray paint again. But I did fix it, so it wasn't a big deal. It's by far from being perfect. I did have to fix the little starbursts a couple times, but it's okay. It was fun. It was an easy project. It was very relaxing to do. It was a very laid back project to kind of fall back on. But yeah, I'm so glad to be able to add this to my collection. I will be just hanging this on the wall instead of actually using it as a dustpan, which was kind of the idea in the first place from seeing some of the pictures and ideas of them on Facebook and Pinterest that I had seen. So I'm just going to hang it up on the wall and add it to my collection. I do have quite a few things for my Coca-Cola collection, so that way I can add it to the many things I have. Now this is one of my favorite things, and I don't have a lot of like valuable things. A lot of it's just kind of sentimental, like things that people had given me, or things I found at like thrift stores or at yard sales, just like little odds and ends. Not really anything valuable in a sense, but they mean something to me, so, and that's what matters. So, but yeah, I'm very excited and very happy with my project. If you guys would like to see any of my Coca-Cola things, let me know in the comments. I will be very happy to show you some of my Coca-Cola things. I wish I'll probably end up showing some of them here and there. But if there's anything specific you'd like to ask or anything like that, just ask in the comments. I'll be happy to show you. But yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe if you really like this video. It really helps my channel out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye, guys. No.